All right, so now that we've turned the Google form into a quiz, we have some extra options. So we've got points up here that will track. And when I click on it, it opens up to edit it. So I can make this worth as many points as I want. If you're doing mastery based, just probably stick with 1 point because you just want to add up how many have to do with that standard that they got correct. Otherwise, you can do whatever you need. You're going to have to check off the right answer. So if I check off, I can do multiple right answers, right? If I check off John Adams, then everybody's going to get the wrong answer. So I have to make sure that I select the correct answer. Now, down here, you've also got, I'm going to hit edit question. You've also got options to give feedback, okay? So what does that look like? I'm going to create a new question so that you can see what it looks like before it is done. All right, so here I have a question created. Who created the first American flag? Bob Ross, Betsy Ross, Larry Bird. I can add an other if I want the kids to be able to add something on their own. But right here, I'm going to hit the answer key, and I'm going to choose Betsy Ross. And right here, I have the option to add answer feedback. So this is one of those items that in John Hattie is like up at 0.74, okay, for the effect size. So for incorrect answers now, I can enter feedback that says, please check out the blog on famous Americans. And I can click the link here. I can add the link. And then right here, I can type what I want them to see. Instead of seeing a link, it's better to type something in. So I'm going to just type in Betsy Ross info. And when I hit add, this is what the kids are going to see. I can also add a YouTube video, but if YouTube is blocked, you could add the YouTube video if with the expectation that kids can watch it at home, because that would work for some kids. But you can also, if you're using Edpuzzle, and Edpuzzle is not blocked, you can always add a link and just add whatever the link is. I'm just going to put edpuzzle.com, and I'm going to put a video on Betsy Ross and hit add. So now they have two options. You've built it into the quiz so that when the kids get the grade back, then they'll be able to work on whatever it is that they didn't do well. So I can hit save now. So this can be an assessment and a teaching tool all at the same time, okay? I also have to set my points here. And then the last thing I want to show you is you can delete by clicking on the trash can, okay? And this one is an open-ended paragraph question. So when I click on edit question, who is your favorite superhero? Explain why. The difference between short answer and paragraph is just the length of space that they get. So whenever you have a why, choose the paragraph. A lot of times it just defaults to it. And then you want to go into your answer key, and you don't have to give an answer, but you can give feedback, right? So I'm going to hit the edit button, and this can be a relationship builder. So it's not a standard, right, for who is their hero. Maybe for writing with giving supporting evidence, it could be. But I'm just going to say that I can just add something cute in here for relationship building. So my favorite superhero is X because of Y. I could conceivably put a link to a video of me or a picture of myself when I was a kid being a superhero, just stuff to build relationships, and then hit save. So I'm not going to give it any points unless it really does check a standard. I'm not going to give it any points. This one here, I do need to give points. And this one, notice this is an answer that has the same answer. It's just in 3 different formats, because in math, I'm not checking them on whether or not they know how to spell it, okay? So if they have the hyphen or they don't have the hyphen, if a student does type it out in words, I still want him or her to get credit for it. And then I can check off to mark all other answers incorrect or not. So as a teacher, once the grades come in, you can go through and change it on your own, or you can just check it off right now that they're all incorrect. And then once you're finished, you can preview it here using the eyeball so you can see what it looks like. You always want to go through and type in the correct answers first and hit submit. And then when you're ready to show it to the kids, you're going to hit send, and then I usually click on the link here and I shorten the URL, and then I copy this and I usually paste it into Google Classroom. However, if you're using Sites, this is the embed code that you need to copy and paste if you want to embed it right into a site for students who are working at their own pace so that they can then see, if I got it wrong, I've already linked the resources to it, so everything is set to go. And I can just copy that and then I can paste it wherever I need to. So most of the time you're either going to use the link or the embed code. I haven't had a lot of success with embedding them in an email where it's in the body of the email. So focus on these two. And then you can just hit copy and then close that window out and you're good to go.